What's going on, everybody out there? Welcome to the IGN All-Star Community Podcast. This is episode 3 of the podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts here, the epic Jake James Lugo, and with me I got my compatriot, Mr. Peter Lopez. How you doing, my dude?
Pretty good, man. What's up, everybody?
Everybody's doing good so far. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the last couple episodes of the podcast we put out. But today's a little bit special. We got a special guest with us today, Pete. Woo. We got none other than Mr. Ryan Palmer, the guy over here that helps do all the stuff for the IGN All-Stars here on IGN. What's going on, Ryan?
All the stuff, yay!
All the stuff, like you do some important stuff. Like,
I don't know. That's all I put on my resume is just stuff.
Then they just know you do all the stuff.
Do you do stuff? Yes, proficiently, and that's about all I do. Community developer at IGN. What's going on? Hakuna Matata, everyone.
Hakuna Matata indeed, man. It's a pleasure to have you. You're our first guest. You're the inaugural guest on our podcast.
Yeah, it feels very, very new and shiny still. I'll have to break this in, fart in it a bit, and then I think it'll be ready to go for everyone else.
You're what some people call the pioneer guest of the podcast here. So,
Really?
Yes.
Do people really say that?
Yes.
Do people just now listening say that?
I don't know about the just listening, but maybe in the comments somewhere in the forums or something. We just gotta look for it or whatnot. Okay. But that's what
I'm
you're
gonna take your word
stuff.
for it, JJ. Taking your word for it.
You're pioneering stuff. You're like Marco Polo. You're circumnavigating the globe. Pretty much.
So episode 3, what do we got in store here?
So we got a bunch of cool things in store. Especially coming towards the end of the actual podcast episode, we got a little bit of some extra info on how you guys can actually win a giveaway we're going to be giving away here on the podcast. We have a Tomb Raider figurine, but we'll get to some of those details later. Why? What's up?
Stuff. Free stuff.
Oh, I thought you said stop. I'm like, what?
Stop.
Just stop. That's what I swear to God I thought he said. No. He's like, stop. No, don't.
We're doing this wrong.
All right. Okay, well, with that being said, let's get back on track here. Okay, let's dive into, Peter, what's hot on IGN right now. So we got 2 things that are hot on IGN. Some neat little blogs that I kind of found while I was perusing the website. So first one is actually a little bit humorous. Okay? We're talking about achievements that shouldn't exist. That are like the worst kinds of achievements or trophies that are just horrible, that should have never been made, it should never been conceived, hands down. And this actual blog comes from Eric1987, or that's Eric_1987, okay? So, these 7 achievements, right? These 7 achievements. We got the first one is called Dedication, which is completed in 1 hour of gameplay if you dare. So I guess he kind of leaves these like little humorous kind of, descriptions of like what these types of achievements are, which is pretty cool.
Wait, is he saying which games these are to?
It doesn't look like it.
No, he's not even talking about. He's talking about the types of achievements for the most part. So first one is dedication.
The description of these achievements shouldn't exist either, apparently.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, snap!
Burn! Right there in the pocket. Anyway,
I'm just kidding. I love you, Eric_1987.
Next thing you're gonna hear is like blog post why Ryan Palmer insulted
me.
Blow
this man's wall up. Exactly.
Oh, man.
Right. Just coming
so much for that plan. But
it was nice knowing you guys.
But first one is dedication. So I'm guessing it's like pretty much spending a lot of time with an actual achievement. He says completed 1 hour of gameplay if you dare. So second one is industrialization, and the way he describes it is build your first house. Like be
that's an accomplishment though.
Yeah. That's kind of cool actually. It's cool. Like,
even in the real world, that's
all
huge.
I wanted to do was just put my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a cool, neat little allocate. I guess it's those it's kind of like the equivalent of leaving a comment on like a video saying first, kind of almost in a sense.
Well, but this is essential. Like this is part of the path of I'm assuming the game. So like he has an image of like SimCity or some type of city planning construction game type thing. And so I get it that it's you need to do it, so why is there an achievement for it if you're going to have to plow through that anyway? But still, that's a landmark moment, right?
Yeah, it's cool. It's like some achievements in some games are like you just get an achievement just for pressing the start button, like starting the game. It's like, oh, okay, like, oh, sweet, I got something. That's nice. But
come on, millennials, am I right?
Yeah,
they need it. It's a ribbon for everyone. Come on.
Exactly. Everybody's a winner.
It's a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy.
Oprah's giving them out like crazy.
And then all those retro gamers out there just cried on a terror. I was like, nope.
Exactly. Like, nope. Back in my day, we had to fight through Nintendo Thumb.
With Nintendo power.
Yeah.
But pretty much moving on, Number 5, or at least the third one that he's got, because he's going in descending order, going from 7 to 1, not going from 1 to 7. But next one on here is well-traveled, which sounds a little weird, but find the first location marked on your map. If you pooled, our autosave will drop you here if you ever decide to play again. It's like, okay. I don't know why that's a bad achievement, though, per se.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that one.
Not too sure.
It's a little weird.
Let's get him on the line.
Yeah.
Beep, Lifeline, right?
Beep, beep, beep. No, but, apparently the voice phone is not working right now, so all right.
Yeah, Lifeline. But the next one is called The Decision. He says, make any decision that you might not make in a second playthrough. Okay, so I guess, that's like for certain games like Walking Dead or, Mass Effect is like a key decision that kind of dictates which kind of like avenue or branch or pathway you're going to take. That's understandable.
How about that don't die option?
Or the don't die option.
Yeah, it's like, hey, last time I died, let's do something different this time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing though. But
I think this write-up is basically just the easy achievements that just shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Like
they're just gimmies. They're just something to get the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. They're the freebies that they just kind of toss at you. It's like free candy at a mall.
I like this next animation, by the way, that he did.
Oh yeah, from El Dorado. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, you guys on the audio can't really see it, but basically, it's a scene from the movie El Dorado, and it's just like one of the characters kind of cuts up like a bunch of like leaves down. It has this really humorous
probably just leave it at that. So if you'd like to take a look at that picture, feel free to check out Eric_1987's my idea page.
Yeah, definitely, But he calls the achievement El Dorado, and basically it's pretty much find a rare object that is glowing so brightly on your screen you would get a seizure before running past it, like you can't miss it. So
I couldn't even put that together, like what games that would go.
Uncharted. Uncharted does that notoriously for the collectibles in all the Uncharted games. Like it has a little blinking like little object on the ground. It's like, oh, what's that shiny thing? Just kind of walk over to it and pick it up. So that's probably what he's probably getting at. But
yeah.
But next. The next one is called Quoth the Raven. Now, this one was weird. He goes, die at least once, forcing you to revert to a previous autosave. Okay. Maybe, because he's got a little GIF animation of Dark Souls, so I'm pretty sure that pretty much, kind of goes hand in hand with the Souls games.
Actually, makes me want to play some Dark Souls right now.
It makes me want to stay away from Dark Souls. God,
I expect you to die. Yeah, totally. That makes sense.
Clearly, right? But and then finally, the last one, it's called It's Been a Long Road. And pretty much it says, make it to chapter 2. So it's like, just beat the level. I
like that
something? I don't have any problems with games or trophies, with achievements or trophies that have it where you just complete levels. I think that's great. I think I want more of that and less of the stupid stuff in achievements or trophies. Like, if you guys ever saw the trophy list for Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD, that is a ridiculously stupid trophy list. Like, it requires you to play the game without changing equipment and such, like straight through. It's like, come on, man, it's silly.
Wait, did you just trash on Kingdom Hearts? Because you're like painting a target on your ass, by the way.
No. What I'm saying is, I love Kingdom Hearts, but the trophy list on Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD is terrible, absolutely horrible. It's like totally contradictory to like how you're supposed to play that game. Like, to me, like the best type of achievements in that game that they have is like, okay, beat, lock a certain world, like lock Agrabah or something, or find a certain amount of Ansem reports, or find the recipe to the ultimate Keyblade. Those are cool. For an RPG, that's amazing. Not play through the game a second time without using any equipment changes and just going through. It's like, come on. Like,
I actually like those. I feel like that adds more, game time onto the video game. Like, if you're gonna pay $60, like, throw things in there like those achievements to extend that gameplay. Because who wants to pay $60 just to play a video game and unlock the easiest achievements and be done with it? Like, I actually like that. I want more. Like I said, if I'm
it does give replay.
But here's the thing: it gives the wrong type of replayability. Like, to me, if for an RPG for the trophy list, okay. RPGs, especially like big RPGs like Final Fantasy 10 HD, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 or 2.5 HD, or even you could go into games like Dragon Age Inquisition or Mass Effect. Those are games like exploring the worlds, interacting with the worlds, going through this epic story. Those are the types of achievements and trophies I want geared towards that type of stuff, not that ones that kind of force you to go through the experience again, which is like 40 plus hours sometimes to do with like the most ridiculous stipulations just to get one trophy.
No, I don't think they force you. They don't force you. I wouldn't say so. I mean, because there's some of them that are just, they're random. It's like, hey, go shoot 10 chickens. And you're just like, all right, fine. That does kind of sound fun. So it's just like, it adds on a little bit to where you wouldn't have normally probably thought to do that. But now there's a goal or an objective to doing that random thing.
But here's the thing. With that one and that, in the case of the one I described, like playing through a game that's 40 plus hours, like this is literally how you have to get this achievement. Like some people say like you could do it on critical mode, but keep this in mind. Play through the entire game without changing any equipment, which means that you start with all the starting equipment that in the very beginning of your adventure in a game about leveling up and finding equipment to get stronger.
Yeah, that's jacked up.
The entire adventure for 40 plus hours. Yeah. Like to me, that's not cool. That's a little ridiculous.
Oh yeah. No way I'm platinum that game.
Yeah, there's no way to platinum it, and if you don't do it, you can't platinum the game. Like I would love to platinum Kingdom Hearts because I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts buff, but I will never do that because of that. Like it's just too stupid to me.
Oh yeah, no. And I'm even a glutton for punishments, but I still would not go do that. I don't know. That just sounds like a lot of work.
Definitely, it's way too much work. I think it's dumb.
But make it to chapter 2. I'm on board with that because I mean, once that ADD kicks in, hey, you better be thanking me because I just spent like 30 minutes of my day right now. So it just, I don't know. It becomes that moment where it's like you get that little pop and it's like, okay.
I just locked Agrabah. So, give me my trophy.
Keep playing.
But let's move on to the next thing that's hot on IGN. So another cool blog that I saw on there that it's about amiibos. Now I've been wanting to talk about amiibos for a while now, okay? Because some of the latest news with amiibos has been kind of a little bit all over the place, been a little kooky and loony. But one guy on the IGN blogs, he writes a blog called "More to the Amiibo Confusion," which he's right on point with that from very get go. His name is Big Z87 on the MyIGN forums.
Big Z.
And his blog. Big Z, yeah.
Big Z. So, I don't even know him, but it sounds like you should say his name like that.
He's been officially given the title called Big Z.
Shout out.
And you got to say it exactly like that too.
You got to.
But pretty much, his blog is very short, but he talks about some of the recent news about how not only are certain amiibos being discontinued, especially after only throughout 3 to 4 weeks, but the ones that have been discontinued, you'll still be able to get them in card form as opposed to figure form, which is what amiibos essentially are. Yeah. Now, let me ask you guys this: what do you guys think about now that the first line of amiibos have been out for about 3.5 to 4 weeks? That certain amiibos like Marth, the Wii Fit trainer, and apparently the villager from Animal Crossing, are all discontinued. Like the only way you're going to be able to find them is online on Amazon for like $80+ because they're so rare right now. What do you guys think of that?
I don't think anyone's going to buy them if they're cards because everybody wants that figurine, right? It's something they can put like right next to their tchotchkes on their desk or something. Like people need that. I don't think people are going to do that with like a card. It's not going to go on like your desk and you're going to display it. I don't really like amiibos. I don't really understand them too much. I mean, I like the idea of them just because I would collect them, but all I see them as is just like a memory card, transferring your data, taking it to your friend's house, like, I don't.
Yeah, it's a fancy USB stick.
Exactly. And I mean, if it did more, like if they went towards the Skylanders and Disney Infinity route, then I would totally be on board. Like I want to play Villager in Captain Toad or, Marth in Mario Kart, like I want.
You could do that in Mario Kart though, legit.
And I like the idea now that they're doing the whole, avatar thing in Mario Kart. I kind of like that, but as far as like transferring your data over, that's just weak sauce.
I think here's my problem though, okay, with this whole debacle, especially with cards. Number one, cards shouldn't be in the conversation at all because these are amiibos, these are figures, this is what they are. I think that the only solution that anybody would be really happy, including me, in response to the shortage of certain amiibos, make more amiibos. I want the Marth amiibo. Like wasn't able to be that guy day one to go grab like 4 of them from Toys R Us or something or GameStop and like add them to my collection. Like I want to be able to buy these amiibos. So rather than just completely just shutting me out and like not making more available for me to buy because all the collectors scoop them up, you're gonna give me cards, which is not really a replacement to that. And they're hopefully, I'm not even sure if they're gonna have the same type of functionality as like the amiibo figurine. I would hope so at least. But even then, it feels like getting promised a soda and getting diet soda. It's like, okay, come on, like that doesn't make no sense. Like that it's kind of annoying because it just seems so simple. Just make us more amiibos. Give us more of these figures because people want them. Look how many amiibos sold in like the first week. That's ridiculous, with all the pre-orders and stuff. Obviously, people want these things, not only just for the functionality that they have on certain games like Smash, Mario Kart, and whatever future releases on Wii U, but they want them for collection purposes. So why don't you give them exactly what they want? Give them access to be able to buy more of these figures because people will pay for it, not make it harder for us.
Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Let me straighten my tie up here. No, I'm naked. Don't worry about it. First off, this podcast is definitely not sponsored by the year 1987 because for some reason we have Eric_1987 and also Big Z 87. So that's very
these are definitely NES kids.
Very coincidental, first of all. But the second part is, so what if they're cards? One, people are going to buy them. For one, don't even mix words with that. People are going to buy them. They could come out as holograms, gold foil, whatever the case is, and look just top notch, and people are going to go and still buy them. For one, my main question with it, other than obviously, why can you not just reproduce them or keep those going to manufacture? Why not Pogs? Let's bring Pogs back for crying out loud.
No.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Dude, totally.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. I don't think cards or Pogs, whatever, is really a replacement for this because someone like me, again, that was looking forward to going on and buying a collection of these at some point like that. Now that's completely shut out to me. Now I won't ever get the Marth amiibo at all at this point because it just decides not to make more of them. It's not that they're not capable. I really don't think it's not that they're not capable or that they can't pay the manufacturing costs to make more of them. They're just deciding not to. And that kind of it's a little annoying for me. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the PlayStation 4 anniversary, 20th anniversary scheme one where they only made a certain amount of them. There are thousands upon thousands of people around the world that would buy that SKU just to support PlayStation even more as being longtime fans, and then Sony's just not making more of them. And that guy that loves PlayStation for years on end won't be able to do that.
It's like they're just handing them out with napkins in Europe. It's just something where it's just kind of getting thrown about, but for some reason they only for the general public or whatnot.
There's only 12,000.
Yeah, only that set few, and then you got idiots going on eBay paying thousands and thousands of dollars for them where they which
is the exact same thing as the amiibos. The Marv figurine, the Wii Fit Trader, the Villager, they're going for $80+ online when they're originally $12.99. I was like, okay, this is getting a little bit ridiculous at the point, and I'm pretty sure anybody with true common sense would not pay that much unless they're super die hard and completely put in the predicament that we're in right now. I want Nintendo to give us more of these amiibos, make them more available for people that will buy them, because I feel like they're still just going to make as much money, catering to the fans and get much more people behind them as their fan base, being able to, again, make it available to everybody because people want them.
And that's the thing too, is the majority of people who are buying these things are hardcore collectors, like for example Pear and the dudes from NVC. Those guys seem like they're addicts, right? They're getting a little sewing circle together and they're kind of conjuring ideas and wondering where they can buy and kind of working together in that aspect. But I
want in the Pear sewing circle, by the way.
Are you?
That just sounds awesome.
I think you're going to have to schedule an intervention with them at some point because this amiibo.
The thing is if Nintendo decides to put these amiibos on cards, think about the collectors like the guys from Nintendo Voice Chat, right? Are they going to buy these cards? No, I don't think they are. They want something more tangible. They want these little toys, and I think regardless if I like them or not, I think Nintendo should create more of the actual figurines rather than going the card route, because I don't think people are going to buy these cards because of that reason. They want something more tangible than a stinking card, And
PD Lolo, I'm going to buy you the cards when they come out. I'm just going to send them to you.
Dare you. But it's okay, what if you have all of the amiibos except for one, and the only way you can get the one you're missing is a card? How is that going to look in your collection? You're not going to buy the card. You're going to pay the $80 to $90 for that amiibo figurine on eBay,
And that's not going to Nintendo on top of that, number one. But even more so, again, I just don't find cards as a suitable replacement for the figurines. I feel like that's just Nintendo just deciding not to make more of them. They just don't want to do, or maybe they weren't adequately prepared for the response that they got for everybody pre-ordering them and buying them, from the very get-go. But I feel like the one thing that they should do is just make more amiibos. Make all those figurines, that first wave, available again for people to buy them. Because again, there's still plenty of people that will still buy them. It's not like people aren't, don't care about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna make money. They're gonna make money regardless because
Yeah.
like if I was 7 years old and all this was going down, for Christmas I'd probably get like one, maybe two amiibos. But if the cards were available, I'd probably get like 4 or 5 cards that were available because I was pretty broke whenever I was 7 years old, as far as like family wise, like
A lot
pretty
of people
poor
are gonna
family.
be broke now.
Yeah, and then being an adult, yeah, it's not like I have a windfall of money either right now. But I think it's still like, honestly, it's still gonna sell. I get where people feel like, hey, you've already given us the good stuff. Don't dial it down a notch. Keep it going at the level that you had it at, because it doesn't make sense to basically regress in what kind of a product you're putting out there. But honestly, I think it's just still gonna sell though.
So what do you think the price would be then? I mean, the amiibo figurines right now, they're $14.99, I believe.
No, they're $12.99. $12.99 right now. I don't think they'll probably sell them in packs. Sell the cards in packs, like how
Right.
traditional trading cards are. Because you're not going to buy a single card for like a couple bucks, unless it's like in Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh, where you pay like a certain amount for like a hollow foil at like a store or something.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do like what every other trading card company does and put them in packs.
It's going to have some thickness to it, definitely. Some girth, some card girth to it. I mean, like a pack of 2 or 3. I mean, together. I mean, I think they're definitely going to have to be substantial if they plan to be reused again and again. They're going to have to be durable. So at this
And how is this going to work with Wii U? Because keep in mind that little scanner on the Wii U gamepad. How is that going to scan cards? Like, what are they going to have? Like
It's
a
the
little
same
kind of
thing
like
like
a
the
barcode?
QR cards, like from
it's
with
NFC. It's
Bravely
just
Default and,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so yeah, that might be a solution like that. But even so, still, I really just leave such a sour taste in my mouth, because I'll tell you right now, if I don't get my Mega Man figure, my Mega Man amiibo, come next year, I think it's in the 2nd or 3rd wave like that, I'm flipping tables. I'm telling you right now. It's going down, like, because it's just like, okay, unless I'm that guy, in front of Toys R Us, like midnight, trying to snatch up 4 or 5 of them, like, I'm going to be at a loss. And that I don't think that's fair. That kind of sucks.
As a side note, if anybody has any video of them just playing with their amiibos, like in a conversation type setting or like a adventure, please send that in, because I would watch those all day long. Just giving them voice and giving Donkey Kong like just some major motive as to why he has to punch Pikachu or something. I don't know, but just something where it's at least I get bored quite often. So if anybody has stuff like that, I'd be very interested.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. But let's jump into this episode's feature topic today. Holiday gaming memories. Okay, everybody remembers getting video games, playing video games during the holidays, whether you're celebrating Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, whatever. At some point, especially last generation, this generation, maybe future generations, gaming has become part of our holiday memories at some point. So let's go around the panel here and actually start off with you, Ryan. Tell us a little bit about some of your holiday gaming memories.
I remember it like it was yesterday. No, it doesn't. There's probably a couple that stick right out. The first major one that's just at the top is it's going to be getting a Super Nintendo for Christmas. Basically,
Nice.
that Christmas right after they came out, I didn't think I would get one because, again, we were pretty poor growing up. So my grandparents, oddly enough, decided just to buy a Super Nintendo, and we were going to go visit them for Christmas. So my parents were like, well, hey, since we're going to go visit them and your grandpa, for whatever reason, decided to buy a Super Nintendo, which was probably the coolest move he's ever done in his life there at that point. No, I can't say that. He fought in a couple wars, but but they bought a Super Nintendo just, for whatever reason. And so they were like, yeah, go rent a game or something. So Street Fighter 2, I was like, oh man, I got to get that Championship Edition. So I rented that, and right whenever I got there, they ended up having a Super Nintendo that I was going to basically have for myself as well. So that was probably one of the coolest. The notch down right below that, the only other one I can think of is this is not a video game, but a game. I wanted one of those mini pool tables that they
I know what
always
you're talking
sell.
about. I had those, yeah.
And it's like gumballs basically for the pool balls.
They look
and
like little, like marbles almost.
Yeah, essentially, almost. It was. I was a stupid kid, but I wanted it so bad. And so I finally got one, and we got it all set up. It was all Christmas afternoon. I was like, oh my gosh, I invited my friend over. We started playing. I swear, I think it was probably, that thing only lasted probably like 3 days, and then the board started warping where all the balls just collect in the middle. So unfortunately, that's the only other memory I have.
That's hilarious. So let's shoot it over to Peter. Peter, holiday memories. What's going on? How was the holidays for you?
The holidays were mediocre, I guess. I mean, in terms of like receiving Christmas gifts, we really just got like underwear and socks. You know, the things that kids want for Christmas.
Wow,
right.
So, yeah, I mean, the two things that really stand out was the day or the Christmas that I got my Nintendo Entertainment System. I got the action pack, so it had Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros.
Nice.
And I played that thing until like it wouldn't even turn on anymore. I remember putting like 2 cartridges in at the same time so the like NES would play. But yeah, I mean, it was that for me. And then the second was I didn't get any video games, and my godmother, she gave me like this super lotto like scratcher kind of thing, and she's like, here, just see if you'll win anything. And I won $60, and with that I bought
nice
Ocarina of Time, and that was like, I guess, a Christmas gift from her. So those were my really big, gaming holiday memories.
She's a gambler, huh?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Nice.
Playing the odds, were you?
Yeah, she is.
Well, look at it this way: it paid off, and you ended up getting Ocarina of Time, one of the
Right?
best games arguably ever made.
Yeah,
So
it was the best.
I think that'd be awesome if Santa just did that from moving forward. It's like, all right, just scratch off and see if you actually get something.
Ah. There'd be like a couple spaces that just say coal. He gives him a piece of coal.
Right? Just like, well, apparently you were a horrible person this year.
And then show you what you could have won. You could have won an Xbox One.
Oh,
and it's about,
so
oh man,
close.
I'll take the piece of coal.
Right.
What
Wow,
about
that's-
you, JJ?
Well, for me, like the number one holiday memory, like even though I'm hoping it kind of gets reenacted this holiday, because again I'm asking for a Wii U, but the best one that I could really remember is when I got the N64. Like I mentioned it on the podcast before, where like I got an N64 for Christmas. It was the bundle that had the gold controller for it. It was like that special edition gold controller. I guess it was sometime after GoldenEye. I can't remember exactly or whatnot, but I remember I got that bundle. Okay, and the first 2 games I got on top of a second controller with no controller pack, mind you, which was kind of funny. But at the time, I had gotten both Shadows of the Empire for N64 and the original Turok Dinosaur Hunter. And like I remember the first time I put in Shadows of the Empire into my N64 and played it, because I'm such a big Star Wars fan, and my entire family is Star Wars fans, like tried and true. If there's like one thing we all universally agree on, or like stops everything in the household, is Star Wars. So getting Shadows of the Empire, which I read the book at that time, and it was a story between episode 5 and 6, like that. So you were getting essentially more Star Wars that you could be a part of. It kind of blew my mind. I was in. So I played that game nonstop all of Christmas Day, and that was like some of the best gaming memories I ever had. Like I didn't even touch Turok Dinosaur Hunter until maybe at the end of the day, and even then I just did not care because I was playing Star Wars.
I don't think
like
anyone touched Turok.
I did.
Here's the
I
thing,
touched
Turok
touched
was
it
a
many
good
a
game.
times.
Like,
It touched
Turok
me
on
many a
N64
times.
Oh god, Turok Dinosaur Hunter was actually a decent game for what it
I
was.
liked
Like,
it. I mean, I like
like-
dinosaurs. I'm a bit biased,
Yeah.
so yeah, I loved it.
And then especially if you were into Jurassic Park, like that was ideally a really cool freaking game for you. But
yeah.
it was totally overruled by Star Wars, and it was good Star Wars at that. So that's like totally shut that out for me. For a
I can
good
make
long
that
while.
concession. Yeah.
So I mean, the only time that was ever topped off was when I got Rogue Squadron for the N64, and I was totally like, okay, I'm in, I'm good. Don't bother me for like a week. I'm good. But those were some of my best memories. Like, it was just so much fun. Just the idea of getting a console. Like, I think pretty much amongst all of us, getting a game console, like something brand new and shiny with new games you never experienced before, that's like a really big charm and a really like a staying point for a lot of gamers during Christmas, because that's again, you're expecting big gifts during the holiday season, no matter what holiday you celebrate, and just sitting there throughout, just playing those games is just so good.
Right.
So good. I'm hoping that like I get that reenactment or that kind of like similar type of feeling when I get the Wii U this Christmas. Like, it's just me. I can imagine picturing myself sitting during Christmas Day on Wii U playing Smash Brothers online. That I'm good. That I have an awesome Christmas with some eggnog.
Yeah, I want to see
totally.
if any listeners out there want to send us pictures of maybe their favorite, holiday memories with video games, or you know, that kind of thing. Send it to the email, and maybe we can put it out on a thread or something. Get a little, you know.
Yeah,
What's the email?
The email is
your favorite email address, Ryan. It's let's see, allstarpod at hotmail. Hotmail, did I say it? Hotmail.com.
Keeping Hotmail going.
That Hotmail's going.
All-Star Podcast.
Yeah, just
Keeping
shoot us an
them
email,
going.
guys. Just shoot us an email with your favorite gaming memories during the holiday season. Let us know what you guys saw, and we'll read it up on the next episode. So that should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
most definitely.
Speaking of email, speaking of listener questions, okay, we actually got our first little batch of listener mail for the
Yeah.
actual podcast. So the inauguration email goes to David, which is also the Quigley on my IGN. He asked about Arkham Knight. Okay, so his question goes: What are your guys' thoughts on Arkham Knight? This is one of my favorite series from last gen, and I am less enthusiastic than ever about the new one, specifically because of the addition of the Batmobile. I guess Batman doesn't kill and doesn't use guns. Unless you're inside a vehicle, then he has no qualms about murdering you. But even story logic aside, I'm not thrilled about taking this stealth action game and adding what seems to be substantial amounts of action shooter style gameplay. It's just not what the series is about to me. How do you guys think it fits into the Arkham series? Now, before we even dive into this, let's establish this right now, because you know we got to help you. We need to give you the basics. Batman doesn't kill. Hands down, that's a DC Universal comic rule that their superheroes don't kill. With the few exceptions here and there. Man of Steel, we're looking at you, okay? But Batman essentially doesn't kill. He doesn't use guns like that. He doesn't use any handguns because, again, has to deal with his parents' death and such. But with that being said, what do you guys think about his feelings, you know, regarding the Batmobile coming into Arkham Knight?
I like
Yeah,
the
I'm probably
Batmobile.
not the.
Yeah, it's the Batmobile. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I think that's the one thing everybody's been asking for since Arkham Asylum was the Batmobile, to be able to control the Batmobile.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I like the Batmobile and the idea that you can just like blow stuff up. I think it was the last Arkham Knight trailer. They kind of showcased the Batmobile, and I thought it was badass. I thought it was awesome. It beats the crap out of the Batman's Returns Batmobile from Super Nintendo. So yeah, I like the idea of bringing in the Batmobile. I mean, you know, sure, it's not, you know, your typical stealth Batman video game, or at least from what it shows, but you know, I think it's a nice little addition to it. It changes it up a little bit. I mean, it is the fourth game in the series.
Well, we're gonna say 3 because that Batman Arkham Origins, we're gonna neglect that. That's like the bastard child of the series. We're gonna ignore this. I vote to mulligan that.
Bastards need love too.
Yeah,
So,
dude.
Oh
Send your
my god,
hate
that
mail,
horrible.
too. No, I'm just
gosh, right?
That here's the thing. Like, number one, the '89 Batmobile is the best Batmobile ever conceived. It's just such a cool looking car.
I've got a picture next to that when I was like 9 years old in
Oh,
like
yeah.
beat up jeans, like grinning like ear to ear with next to that thing.
Let me tell you something. I'm such a fan of this Batmobile. I went to Six Flags Great Adventure. I got myself pictures with that Batmobile. That is
Yeah.
such a nice looking car. Like, it's just so good. You can't help but look at it and be like, wow, this is a badass car. Man,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
got that
amazing.
stingray allure to it.
But like, I like the idea of the Batmobile as well. I think that it's a cool, neat addition because, again, the area you're going to be kind of traversing is a little bit much more wider, from my understanding, in Arkham Knight. But also, this seems like the most natural progression of the series because this is something we've asked for since Batman Arkham Asylum, because part of Batman's repertoire and part of his arsenal is the Batmobile. Like, that's like his thing. That's what's associated with him. So it seems only natural to include that aspect of it. Now, they had the Batmobile appear in previous games. Like in Batman Arkham Asylum, he pretty much slams the Batmobile into Bane and like knocks him to the water, which is cool. You know, kind of sucks because the Batmobile's underwater, but it was there. And they've had other nuances to it in the rest of the Arkham series. But giving us the ability to control it, and then the fact that it has different types of, like, you know, abilities, and it like changes up the dynamic of the gameplay.
Totally.
Just adds, you know, to the whole idea of being Batman. It makes it just so much more cooler. Now, don't get me wrong. The series itself is about stealth, and it's about like taking out enemies and such. I think like there's a little bit much more of a mixture towards, like, you know, beat 'em up action in the second one as opposed to stealth, because stealth was much more of a bigger part in the first game, even though the action and such was there, but they kind of geared to kind of balance it out like that. So I think that it's just totally fine, like, if they want to implement that, especially when you're controlling the Batmobile. But keep in mind, the Batmobile, you'll actually be able to actually have different puzzles to solve with it to actually do.
Somebody's dog has an opinion on that.
Unfortunately, my door is freaking banging.
I think he was agreeing with you. I think that's good. But no, I mean, I agree with both of you as far as it switches things up. It fits the story in the sense of, like, with Arkham Knight now, it's like all bets are off. It's just like in your face, top notch. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It seems like it has this much different feel than sneaking around, Arkham Asylum or things like that. Like, it has this more, I don't know. It just is more action, just more punch, just more. I guess what's the word I'd be looking for? Just urgency, maybe. I guess to some of the plot that it seems like it's unveiling with some of the trailers. But I'm probably not the best guy to have an opinion on that, because I liked the Mako missions in Mass Effect, which apparently not a lot of people like those.
The tank-like missions on there? I mean, those were okay.
Like,
but...
just, I don't know, just hopping around on a planet for, gosh, I swear it'd be like 15 minutes of my gameplay of just trying to find one stupid point or going towards it. And I don't know, anyway. But I don't know. I think it switches it up enough that this is a long-going series, and one that they're trying to, I guess, supposedly cap off. I don't mind them. I don't mind them throwing that in.
You know what I think it is? I think what he's afraid of is that it's going to change the identity of the Arkham series. Like, apparently this is supposed to be the last one in this series,
right, before
I guess they go into some other, like, territory or whatnot, or if another studio takes the reins on it. But, like, he's afraid that, like, okay, this game is going to become much more, okay, you're going to have to stay in the Batmobile. You're going to have to, like, be taking out dudes in the streets, like, gung-ho style, like the Terminator. And it's going to be less about stalking and less about, like, taking guys out stealthily, as you're trying to infiltrate or, like, take out, like, one of Batman's rogues galleries. I think that's the more appealing aspect to him, and that's cool. And I'm pretty sure they'll have all these stealth missions that are just devoted to that part of the game. But I think the Batmobile is a necessity. That's, like, a big part of, like, who Batman is. So,
but if it's something he doesn't like, it's a valid concern, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really, really important aspect of Batman, though, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that answers your question. With the next
one, I don't think we did, by the way.
We told a super tangent.
No, we just kind of, like, went off into everything else about how badass the Batmobile is, but
yeah, that too. Well, I mean, come on, it's such a cool car.
It's like, hey, yeah, speaking of Batmobile, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about how awesome the Batmobile is.
Let's talk about it outside of Arkham Knight.
Oh man, but let's go to our next and final question from listener mail. Okay. We got Caleb now that asks, what are your top 5 games that you are most excited for in 2015? His are The Witcher 3, Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy X, Evolve, and Oni. I think he was trying to say Final Fantasy 15, not Final Fantasy X.
Well, they're doing the up-res. They're doing the up-res, I guess, of it.
Yeah.
But
the PSP port over to PS4, I believe.
True, but that game's already been out. That's not really a 2015 game. I'm pretty sure that you probably met Final Fantasy 15, though.
It's never just good enough for you, is it, JJ?
I'm just saying.
It never is.
I'm just saying.
All right.
But with that being said, what 5 games that you guys are looking forward to next year? What are they?
Take it, Petey Lolo.
Oh man, I don't know if I have 5. I'm sure I do, but just off the top of my head, I'll just say 2 because there really is 2 that I'm looking for. It's Monster Hunter 4 for the 3DS. I wasn't really ever big into the PSP versions, but when I bought my 3DS, I wanted something that was going to take me a really long time to play, and Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate definitely did that. I never beat the video game, but I did sink in about 60 hours of just, like, gameplay. So I'm really looking forward to the 4th one, and the other one is Final Fantasy Explorers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't think it was officially announced for North America, but I know it was announced for, I believe it was the UK and in Japan.
I hope that comes over here so
really
bad. That game looks so cool.
And I like the idea that they're totally bringing in, like, Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, and a bunch of other characters, and even Lightning from the Final Fantasy 13. I'm liking that they're bringing all these characters together in one, like, humongous open world area, and you're just connecting with friends online, and just having a good time. It's really those 2 that I'm really looking forward to, and Zelda Wii U. We talked about that the other day on the other podcast.
Definitely.
But
Oh no, you said only 2. You already took your 2. All right.
But Ryan, what 5 games that 2015?
Jeez. Man, there's honestly there's a lot that's coming out for 2015. I tend to usually be a little pickier as far as like where I kind of devote my time to, but I'm really excited for No Man's Sky. That game looks really beautiful, and I'm curious if it's actually just going to be straight adventure, or if it is going to if they're going to kind of peel back the tarp a bit more and reveal kind of some other aspects of it. I don't know. It's a beautiful looking game, and I'm curious of it. Battlefield Hardline, I'm actually interested in. As far as story goes, it seems like I don't know. It just has that different kind of feel to it that has really kind of drawn me in so far with all of the reveals and gameplay stuff that they've shown so far. The Division, that's another one. Any you guys psyched about that or no?
Nah.
Division's
All
a
right.
Ubisoft game, right? The
Tom Clancy, yeah.
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 It's the one that has the really cool HUD on there that you
Yeah.
kind of like scan the environment and
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't
mean,
know.
it looks cool, but,
I like good games where you can get like a group of people together. And right now, I'm not too big into Call of Duty or Halo or anything like that right now. But that one just seemed tactical enough that it got my attention. That's 3. I've never been like a Metal Gear Solid fan that much. I mean, I've always appreciated them, and I've played a couple here and there back on PlayStation. But the Phantom, what was that? Phantom Pain?
Phantom Pain, yeah.
Yeah,
Metal
that
Gear
one
Solid
definitely, man, once they showed that multiplayer, gosh, dude.
that was one of the coolest trailers I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
That was just fun.
That was awesome. And so that one's definitely on my radar, and Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne looks like it's gonna be good.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, there's so many games coming out this
So
year.
many good
coming
ones.
out in 2015. It's absurd.
Definitely. I mean, some of my picks, to be honest with you, again, some of the same ones that have been said before. Again, Star Fox Wii U for me. I'm a big Star Fox fan, and the fact we're getting that before Zelda Wii U is awesome. Final Fantasy 15, I really think that game's coming out at the end of next year. I hope. I've been waiting on the game for a while to pick that one up. Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. Again, I'm a big Metal Gear fan. I love the series. I'm pretty sure most of the people out there love the series. They're looking forward to see how the new voice of Snake runs with, outside of Ground Zeroes, how that kind of, takes into effect with the whole world in Kojima's creation. I don't think Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out next year, so I'm not even going to bother counting that. But I will say Monster Hunter 4 as well. Monster Hunter 4, I'm a big Monster Hunter fan like Pete. But, I had a group of friends around me to actually, do multiplayer matches or multiplayer runs for Monster Hunter in the previous games, on the 3DS as well as also the Wii U. But also, kind of like a dark horse hit because I'm such a fan of like the franchise, Godzilla. I think that this is going to be interesting because, we never really had a real type of like Godzilla game that wasn't necessarily a fighter or like a mediocre type of like take on the character. This one looks, from the footage I've seen, over in Tokyo Game Show and such, that it's much more attuned to what Godzilla is and what Godzilla is all about, and like his destruction, his power, some of his fights and stuff. That sounds like it's going to be really cool, and it's going to be interesting to see like that new take on the Godzilla franchise. And apparently, the American Godzilla is supposed to make an appearance in it, so that would be very cool. But the Japanese and the real American Godzilla, not that one from like '98 or whatever. Actually, that doesn't count. We just call that the other bastard child of a franchise.
What are you talking about? The Matthew Broderick Godzilla?
Yeah, the one that was like, that's a
the
lot
alligator
of fish.
Godzilla? Oh, yeah, that's right.
That fishy Godzilla over there.
Wait,
The
so
one
they're
that
not
doesn't
even
even breathe
acknowledged?
fire.
They're not going to
man.
acknowledge him?
No, like here's the thing: Toho, the guys that own the Godzilla franchise, don't even acknowledge that as a Godzilla movie. They call it simply Zilla, and just like it's just over there. Even in one of the movies, like Godzilla just like beats the crap out of it like really quickly. It's just like acknowledges like that was just like that did happen. They mulliganed on it. So
Huh. All I
It's
remember
pretty
is
fun.
like P. Diddy did what was it like? It's like a version. It's like a Led Zeppelin song.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's
Man.
all I remember from that movie. Is like why did that happen?
man, that was a disaster.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was not Godzilla. So we're getting a real Godzilla in that game this time. So that was our picks for the top 5.
Oh, I was meaning to ask. You guys are big on Nintendo. Are either of you hyped about Mario Maker?
I think it's cool.
Interesting. I want to see some Captain Toad implemented in there. I doubt it's going to get in there, but if they're throwing, do you know if they're throwing in 3D World or not? Super Mario
No.
3D World for Wii U.
Super Mario 3. Ooh, that I do not know.
thought
No.
I
3D
heard
World?
that they were supposed to do that, but I mean, it looks interesting. There's some talk going around and thinking maybe, I mean, if it's going to be a full-fledged, like, you know, $40, $50 game, if it's going to be sold only through the eShop or through retail.
Wait, is this bastard talk or is this legit talk?
No, this is in between.
Oh, okay.
Suspect
I can
talk.
respect that.
That's what it is. Suspect talk.
I respect
Speculation,
that.
guess you could say.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think? What do you think? Do you think it should just be a retail game, or do you think they have enough content right now to make it a retail game, or should it just be digital distribution?
Digital distribution, to be honest with you.
So,
Yeah.
I think it should be something that's highly shareable, and having it as digital would definitely help out, because that's going to be the basis as far as it growing, is everybody creating their levels and stuff like that. So I think it makes a lot of sense for doing digital, but I don't know. I don't think it needs to be restricted to that, though.
I mean,
Yeah,
what are you
I
guys
think
more
it's
interested in? Are you more interested in playing other people's level creations, or are you
Yes.
interested in creating your own?
I'm interested in playing the levels that other people create, because that's the same way that I felt about Little Big Planet and that entire series. Like, I'm not too like savvy with a lot of like the intricate like tools and such of what you could do to create the levels. Like, most of the levels that I tried to create in Little Big Planet are not good by any stretch of the imagination compared to what's out there. But I always love downloading all these different levels that people would come up with that like get like highly rated by members of the community there, and just playing through them and seeing what crazy creations people could come up with. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be the exact same thing with Mario Maker, because again, it has the same principles as Little Big Planet. It also has a lot of the same principles in the canceled Mega Man Universe game, which is almost like very, very similar in premise, you know, because it's 2D like that.
It looks easy to create, though, so I think that kind of curve of things that people got intimidated with, Little Big Planet or things like that, I think this one may help simplify it a lot more.
Definitely. I mean,
But yeah, we'll see.
What I love though about Mario Maker though is that it has this ability to change the different sprites. Like, you could have like the Super Mario Brothers 3 sprite with like a Super Mario World like layout, and like
Oh,
the enemies
right.
be
Mix
like
and
Mario
match, yeah.
1. That's actually pretty cool to me. I love that. Like the little like mix and matches like that, I think are pretty awesome.
Yeah, make those worlds collide.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of mashup stuff. They should have been doing more of that stuff in Ultimate NES Remix, but I digress.
Wiki.
With that being said, though,
That was my
time for
remix, by the way. Go ahead.
DJ Ryan Palmer.
Whoop, whoop.
But time for some cleanup, guys. Let's talk to you guys again about the giveaway we're doing here on the podcast, Pete. Okay, we're giving away a Tomb Raider figurine, courtesy of Ryan over here, which is pretty awesome. Pretty
I just
sweet.
found it laying around, so hopefully nobody claims it before somebody wins it.
So, Pete, tell everybody how they could actually have a chance to win this Tomb Raider figurine.
Sure. If you, listener, would like to enter in the little contest that we're having for this figurine, just shoot us an email at allstarpod@hotmail.com. And just enter in. Make sure you leave your name, your mailing address, and your my IGN page or Twitter handle. Anything we can do to kind of give you a proper shout out on the podcast. But it's
If we use your question, use your question to get you entered in, and then we can see who wins from there.
And one email, guys. Don't start sending like groups of like 5, 6, or 7.
Keep it brief.
Keep it brief. Keep it simple. Straight to the point. Okay.
Not pictures of your briefs.
Oh,
Just
God, no,
clarify
please.
that. Yeah. No.
I mean, yeah. Unless it's Batman briefs. If you got Batman briefs, okay, you're okay.
Okay, respect. I will look at a Batman brief picture if you send it in.
And if they got the Batmobile on it, okay, you got even more props for finding something like that.
It depends what Batmobile, right?
The 89 Batmobile.
Oh well, yeah, I guess so. It does have that little polished nub at the front of the 89 Batmobile, right?
Yeah, it's got the turbine.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
But yeah,
I will never say
guys.
polished nub again. By the way, guys, that's the last
We're gonna have to
last time I
edit
ever
that
say
out,
that.
like-
Yeah,
Oh,
please.
man. Oh man, that's so. The FCC is gonna come after us.
Yeah,
But
this is the last time I'm on here, guys. So it was good. It was a good experience.
This was the last episode of the All Star.
Yeah, remember that one time?
we're gonna walk off to the Incredible Hulk theme song. It's like, man.
Please,
but-
please find that.
Oh yeah, I got it. But here's my point, guys. One email, just send it to allstarpod@hotmail.com. Give us a question, okay? Give us your name and your mailing address. Again, also your MyIGN or your Twitter handle, whatever have you, okay? And the winner will be chosen and read on the podcast when we actually get enough emails and such and the ball rolling with it. And we'll let you all guys all know on one of the episodes when we actually record it. That way we'll be able to send it out to you shortly after we know who won the actual figurine. So get those emails and such in. Send us your comments and feedback. You can also just send us comments and feedback if you don't want the figurine also at allstarpod@hotmail.com, as well as also on Twitter at allstarpod on Twitter. That's at allstarpod on Twitter. As well as also you can hit us up on our own personal Twitter accounts. We got 3 now this time. So you can reach me on Twitter at VenomousFatman1. That's at VenomousFatman and the number 1, all one word, on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm at Pete_Lopez. That's L0PEZ. Pete_Lopez.
And then Ryan, where can they find you?
At symbol RYNPLMR. Because I'm an idiot, and for some reason I decided just to remove just all of the vowels from that.
Yeah, but it's still clever. It's like getting a cool, classy license plate.
You know, I'm glad you said it that way because I don't feel it's clever at all. But I don't know. I don't really ever use Twitter that much, but I occasionally do just throw some randomness on there. So, yeah, if you feel like you're extremely bored and you just need one other person to follow, you are welcome to do so.
Awesome. But besides Twitters, besides emails, besides figurines and Tomb Raiders, gentlemen, Ryan, Peter, it's about that time.
It's about that time.
It's about that time for the IGN Community Spotlight. So, Peter, tell us who this week's Spotlight is.
Okay, so this week's IGN Community Spotlight goes to, yet again, Harold Flowers. And in case you guys would like to send him a little bit of love once more, you can go ahead and do so on IGN.com. But Harold wrote a recent blog post in regards to when's the best time to write a blog. Now, there isn't a definitive answer for that. You're really writing because you want to. In case you folks out there want to give him a little bit of your feedback, you can check him out on IGN.com in the blog section. And his username is Harold Flowers. In case you guys have PlayStation Network IDs, shoot him a message. He's got that. His name is Spectacular SB490. Spectacular SB490.
All right. Thanks a bunch, Pete, for the IGN Community Spotlight right there. That was pretty awesome, I will say.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an awesome read.
Okay, so
awesome.
With that being said, though, let me ask you guys any quick final thoughts before we kind of wrap this episode up.
Not too much on my end. Keep your nose clean.
Real quick.
Just looking forward to the titles in 2000. What are we in? 15? 2014?
Remember 2015.
All right.
He was on a time loop.
But I'm looking forward to all the games coming out in 2015.
P.D. Lolo is a time traveler, by the way. He gets confused a lot.
He's the modern Marty McFly.
He's just, cut him some slack, people, okay? Cut him some slack.
But definitely big thanks to all you guys listening out there. Big thanks to Ryan for coming on as a guest.
Thank you.
For chatting up games and stuff. I'm sending you a digital panda hug because everybody loves pandas. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was only slightly painful, so thank you guys for being gracious hosts that you are.
Well, thank you.
No, it wasn't painful. I was just kidding. It's just this hardwood floor I'm sitting on.
But again, thanks you guys for listening. Again, check us out on iTunes. We got the podcast available on iTunes now because you guys asked for it. We gave it to you. Be sure to rate us on there, subscribe, and download the podcast. Go check us out on the MyIGN blogs. We got a bunch of stuff over there between myself and Pete, as well as Ryan as well. You know, doing all kinds of crazy stuff that he does over there.
I'm proficient in stuff. I do it.
But again, be sure also to hit us up not only on Twitter, but also, again, at the All-Star email, or the All-Star Community Podcast email. It's allstarpod@hotmail.com. Send us your questions and comments, and also your questions to win the giveaway for the Tomb Raider figure.
Yes.
That should be awesome. So hopefully we could choose a winner of that very soon on the next episode. But that being said, this is all that's going to be for episode 3 of the IGN All-Star Community Podcast. Thanks again, guys. We will talk to you guys again real soon. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.
Peace.
Big Z.